Hi, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going back to 1995. Rudy with Alpha Investments, and today we want to talk about, we're going back to Ice Age. But Rudy, Ice Age was that set with 4th edition that was printed to like oblivion, and nobody wants it. There's a billion of those cards in existence. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. Thanks for watching. You guys do your little thing. We're going to talk about some of the price movements of the sealed boxes, what I think is kind of happening in the future, why I actually don't think there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, full disclosure up front, I do still have probably like a 50 to 100 booster box position in the sealed product, and of course a ton of the singles, as every other store around the country usually does. It's been around a long time. I actually don't see a very bright future with good opportunity in it. This is just a product I personally like because it's fun, but as far as like collectors and investors, it's not for me. Not something I really think is going to make you rich or do anything crazy. It's just an interesting topic to talk about today. So let's talk about it. So first, let's do a little bit of let's talk about first the sealed product a little bit. So it's 2020 now. I know it still feels weird, everybody. The sealed booster boxes are still probably around, I don't even know, $400 to $600 a box on average, maybe $700 a box, depending if you're buying locally, online, or in an LGS, whatnot, or if you're buying at that special, Wizards of the Coast approved event. I'm not really sure. The starter deck boxes continue to be more sought after than the booster boxes. So this is actually one of those bizarre Magic products in history that actually is kind of backwards. There are a few Magic products where 4th edition is one of them, but Ice Age particularly is always, in my experience, has always valued the starter decks more than the booster boxes, mostly because the basic land and, of course, the snow-covered land, which was first invented in the Ice Age 1995 era. So, obviously, if you're getting a starter deck, you have the same rares and uncommons as a booster pack. If you have, 3 rares, the same, 9 uncommons or something, but you actually get all the extra land and snow-covered land, which is substantially more valuable in this particular product. So, very interesting. And I'm not sure if the starter decks have the same 9 uncommons or if they were 12. I remember hearing, anyways. Now, in this product, this is where we get to the singles. It's really funky. So, this product actually has a substantial amount of money in the common slot and uncommon slot. The uncommon slot is actually the most important slot in this product. And we've been seeing some very bizarre, what's the way to say it? Very bizarre, slow price creep movement ticking upwards on the uncommon. So let's do some little flashy graphics because I'm a professional editor that spent 17 seconds. Let's start with the infamous demonic consultation. So in this particular uncommon, is it actually showing? Can you guys see it? Oh, I think you can see it. So on this particular card, this has always been like a $1 or $2 card. It is actually an uncommon. It is not a rare. It's one of those wall of text. It's got a bizarre ability. It actually sees a little bit of play in some little funky decks out there back in the day. It's up to it's trending up to $7, $8, $9, $10, depending if you're going for, when I quote prices, I like to quote mostly near mint or light played. I don't like to quote damage. I'm just cards that are nice condition. So with an uncommon continuing to trend towards that big $10 double digit, it's very surprising because there's a lot of these out there, but it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. I mean, I'm surprised to see, because you guys remember, the Ice Age print run from 95 was insanity. With 4th edition, Ice Age and Fallen Empires were just printed. That was the first Wizards had the dollar signs in their eyeballs, and they just went for the money. So that was the first time that happened. So I want to jump to the next one here. Now, when you look at Dance of the Dead. So Dance of the Dead is actually another uncommon. This is one of those bizarre cards. It's always been worth like 50 cents, maybe $1. Always kind of fluctuated a little bit, and it's been slowly ticking up. Look at the history of it. 150, 2, 250, 3, 4. And now, if you want actually nice near mint, pack fresh, light play, near mint condition cards, Dance of the Dead, again, $7, $8, $9, $10 pushing upwards. So it's interesting to see these uncommons having the most growth. And again, these are actually cards that actually people do actually build some fun little decks around and actually play with. It's not, super popular, but people do it. Same thing if you look at this Fire Coronet? Coronet, sorry, my handwriting's so bad, I can't even read my own handwriting. It's got the funny looking dragon guy. He's like, what's up? Uncommon again. Gold card, uncommon. It's trending $3, $4, $5 if you want a nice pack, fresh condition card, if you want one from the 90s. And these are all three of these examples are actually uncommons. And I'm sitting here going, that's interesting, because I know there's some play and some use to it, but Ice Age rares were printed a lot. Ice Age uncommons, like the millions that were printed, just boggled. There has to be over 1 million Ice Age uncommons. I don't know what to tell you guys on that. I have to say use caution, because if these cards go to like $20, $30 a card, I feel like everyone, including me, is going to be digging through my Ice Age bulk of like 10,000 cards looking for these to cash in to try to get $20 bills for these things. So, and again, if that happens, a bunch of supplies will start hitting the market for people saying, holy crap, a play set of, Dance of the Dead is $100 or something. And if you see what I'm saying? I would be very careful with stuff like this. This isn't something I would consider really investable. It's a fun little collectible thing if you just want a play set, or maybe a couple play sets if you're building multiple decks, whatnot. But I don't consider these really speculation, actual parking money investment type vehicles. I really don't. These are they're high risk, which I guess they're high reward, but to me it's high risk with very shaky reward. That's kind of how I see it. Just the risk reward just doesn't look attractive to me, especially since some of these are already pushing $10 for uncommons. I want to jump over to another thing. The infamous fish, the Mystic Fishy, also has the Mystic Remora. The Mystic Fish, I know, I actually thought I had this originally when I filmed this as an uncommon. Turns out this is actually a common card. This is literally a $3, $4, $5 now pack fresh common card. So now we're talking a $5 common, 3 uncommons between $5 and $10. And of course, don't forget, good old Dr. Necro, captain of Ice Age, is pushing up to $20 for minty ones. Wow, I know, right? So then you factor in, we got this fish over here that actually sees some play, and, cumulative upkeep kind of, I remember cumulative upkeep as a kid, cracked me up. But when you factor these cards in and you look at it, you say, okay, should somebody go out and buy 100 fishies? I mean, Goldfish, WPN, Rudy's Basement, maybe? I don't see the benefit of buying can you guys imagine how many common cards there are out there for Ice Age? Oh my goodness. It has to, I almost want to say it's got to be like 5 million plus, maybe 10 million for each common card in Ice Age. So the concept of buying commons in Ice Age that are, $5 a card, that's a hard no for me, folks. That is a hard stop. That is going to have to be just a flat, I'm out, mark cube. I got to back out of that. I can't touch that. And I would highly caution anyone out there, unless you literally want one little playset for a particular deck, I would not try to speculate and invest and do stuff. I mean, this is print runs. If you think print runs for the Dark are crazy, or print runs for reserve list Urza's cards from Saga Legacy Destiny, or a Mercadian Masks, or even the Exodus Stronghold Tempest era, Weatherlight, always forget Weatherlight. If you think those reserve list cards are printed a lot, this Ice Age stuff makes all that stuff look like child's play, so be real careful there. So then on the end of this video here, you factor in the land cycle. I guess I really don't need pictures of these. You guys know. So we got the land cycle here, okay? You've got pretty much the 5 infamous, you can get colorless mana, ping yourself for a damage land. The infamous first printing of these lands from Ice Age. They're trending, what, $5, $10 a land? I mean, that's really kind of impressive for Ice Age, everybody. That's kind of impressive. So when you factor that in now with the snow-covered lands, which are between $1 and $3 a piece, Ice Age is kind of evolving into this weird product that's aging very strangely, because I never thought Ice Age would be about uncommons, snow-covered land, and a common card. That's not what anybody would have ever predicted 20-something years ago in the 90s. So again, this reinforces to everybody, I don't think there's a lot of opportunity in Ice Age, but again, it's a reminder. You cannot predict how the future is going to perceive a product today. Looking at you, throwing of Eldraine and guilds and allegiance and war. Remember, how we see things now will be very different 20 years from now. And this Ice Age discussion is a great example of how I wouldn't have predicted any of this. And I would just highly, highly recommend everyone uses caution moving forward, because we don't know what's going to happen, everybody.